Yes, buddy.
You want to play too?
I would love to play after I love on myself a bit. Mommy needs to do all the morning things for herself.
You don't need to. You already did that.
I did not.
Stories, you read stories.
I read you stories. I didn't read myself stories.
And Daddy's in here. Where's Daddy?
Let me get something to eat.
Where's Daddy?
Welcome back to A Dish Talk with me, Stephanie B. Umi. If you're new here, welcome. And if you have been here for a while, shout out to you. Thanks for sticking around and witnessing me through my journey of life and motherhood and homemaking and all the things and my creatives. There's just such a special place in my heart for people who can watch you be your multidimensional self and not limit you to things, right? Just witness you, just exist and tap into all levels of who you are, the shadowy versions of you and the clear versions of you, right? It's all versions. There's a special place in my heart for folks who can witness you through all of those things. And for those of you who have been here for a minute, y'all are definitely those people who have a special place in my heart. Of course, to the new people, I look forward to exchanging with you and you being here. So something that's been on my mind and on my heart is connections, especially when you are a mom. When you are a mom, when you are not a child, you're no longer a child, you're an adult, right? Fostering connections with other folks can be an interesting experience. And I'm realizing as a mom and as an adult how important and also how vital the vetting process is of allowing people into your life and into your space. Of course, it was important to me before, but as a mom, it has been etched into the forefront of my mind now. It should have always been, and it was, don't get me wrong, but it's etched in a different kind of way in the forefront of my mind, because the thing I'm thinking about is one day you're going to meet my kid, you know, and do I want my kid to be exposed to you and the things that you carry, the traits, whatever it might be, are our morals similar? Can I go to the bathroom without worrying that my kid is going to be with you for a second? All the above, right? And it just makes you, it just gives you the opportunity to think about yourself in a different way and to rise those same standards for yourself as well. And again, not to say I didn't have them, but I'm realizing that as a mom, it really does invite you inward to raise the bar, raise the standard to where you are. And I'm learning that so much. And it's like my rule of thumb to be able to think, go back into myself as well and honor myself and re-love myself is by asking myself, would I introduce this person to the most sacred part of me? And that's my kid. And now I'm putting myself in that space. And asking myself, would I introduce this person to me? Like, why am I introducing or entertaining these people or experiences if this is not something that I would invite my son into? And even if I do, he gains the experience, but what experiences are within my control that I can make certain decisions and to move around and preserve ourselves and our energy, being able to teach him that as I reteach myself and relearn. My goodness, it's been such a humbling process, and it doesn't feel like peace always, and it can feel intense at times, but something that I do walk away from and kind of redirect and remind myself too in those moments is really becoming more and more clear of who I am and the things that I value. And when I remind myself of those things, it's like breathing life into myself again. Is it like that for y'all? It's like breathing life into yourself again, re-reminding yourself, like, wow, these are the things that I believe in wholeheartedly. I stand by them. And if I can help it, if I can direct certain things, I will. If things are within my control, I will control them. And if they are not, I will surrender and recognize where I can release, right? It's such an ebb and flow, and it's definitely, again, a humbling process. But I've been thinking so much about that and how much it really does, or at least for me, it has really brought me back into myself and really appreciate a lot of the traits and values that I carry as a person, and the things that I have come to space with, like my non-negotiables of having certain people in my space. And that's okay. It's so freeing to say that, like, these are my non-negotiables. Like, you cannot be here in this space present with me. Motherhood really unlocks another level of being able to have standards. I know every mom wants to have the best type of people around their children, because those people really do have an impact on how your child is going to be raised, who they become. Those people really do mirror that. At least I'm assuming every mom's wanting and yearning is to have, if you're like me, you want to have people of quality, of substance around your child. You want to have people, because they're so impressionable at any age. Even we are impressionable as adults to some degree, especially depending on the times where you are practicing your rituals and keeping yourself protected, really honoring that vessel that you're in, honoring yourself, in addition to your ancestors and your guides protecting you also. You want to have quality people that when those times and when those levels are down, the impression that they make is an impression that's going to hold you, it's going to support you, it's going to sustain you, it's going to breathe life into you, and it's not going to drain you. And as an adult, that is something that I have become aware of, and it has been the most humbling and also the most revitalizing and purifying thing, because it really gives me almost like that third eye look into your life. Like, these are the things you really need. These are the qualities, things that you want to have around you to be able to support your soul and to support your well-being overall. Because a lot of times when we invite things like that into us, it dampers. It really does. When it's pulling away, it's draining, it's dampering your light, it's pulling away at you. And yes, buddy. Not right this second, but in a few minutes, yes. So motherhood definitely has reminded me of my standards, and of course motherhood, womanhood, life has just been reminding me of my standards, of the quality of care that I'm experiencing no matter where I'm going. Care with people or in settings where I require assistance, hospitals, wherever. Quality of care, the quality of communication, just the quality overall. And especially if these are things that I can offer to people. If I can offer these things to you, I expect them in return. That reciprocity also. So really coming to the understanding that I can expect things, we can expect things from people in a healthy way. So overall quality, right? Standards, quality of all the things. It's so important to be able to have that, especially when you're giving it. As a mom, we give so much. We give so much. We have so much love to give. We are nurturing children, and we put a lot into it. And if you're like me and you wake up every day thinking about how to better your children, how to give your children the best and give yourself the best and your family the best, then we put a lot into what we're doing. So it's only right that we get that in return. So if you're watching this, it's okay to have standards. It's okay to have requirements. It's okay to have non-negotiables with folks. And it's also important to vet people who are coming into your life, especially in close proximity, and really raise the bar a bit. Like, put that protection around you, your family, so that you're not just letting any outside entities make any impressions on you, or having the best type of quality of care from all the people who are around you. It's so important. And I wish that for you. I know a lot of people say it takes a village, and it does, but I strongly believe that it takes a healthy village. I don't want and I don't have the capacity for folks who are around me and are not being intentional about their actions and just their life and way of living, and are not being mindful of how it impacts children and even the people around you. And if you're not able to take accountability at all, those are things that I'm just not interested in. And the list goes on, but I'm interested in folks who are willing to be communicative in actual community. And I know that that's not a Western way of living. I know that is a more like ancient, traditional, old school, I'm Caribbean, as you guys know, way of being. And even then, that's not always healthy, right? But I see this vision in my head, and there's this fire in me to just create what it is that I see and continue being what it is, and those people will continue to make their way towards me. And I wish that for you also. It's such a beautiful thing to know your intentions with people and to know your intention in general. And it's very helpful to be able to have people around you who are going to mirror a lot of your traits. As the mother of mothers, if I can have more conversation with my son than I can with certain people for them to understand and actually put in action, it's a no for me.